It is day 26 of the Zombie Hunter build. I'm at a different location right now because this location has access to water. The other one does not. And the reason I need access to water is because my Monstaliner arrived. I will be unpacking that shortly, but I won't be coating it today. You know, there's a 3-day weekend coming up, and I want to make sure I do everything correctly. So that will be held off until next weekend, where I could tape the truck, you know, make sure all the tape lines are perfect, everything's perfect. And I won't be doing it here, I'll be doing it at the other location. So, you know, I had to take full advantage of those 3 days and tape everything off and make sure everything's perfect before I coat it. I don't want any mistakes. And so since I don't want any mistakes, I need to make sure that this surface is perfect for adhesion of Monstaliner. And that means that I have to wash it. It hasn't been washed in at least 5.5 years since I've owned it. I bought this thing in March or April of 2012, and for 90% of that time it's been sitting in a field in the Midwest. So since it's been sitting in a field, all kinds of dirt and grime have been on it. It literally has moss growing on it, so I have to get rid of all of this and clean that surface and prep everything. The areas that I worked on were clean. You know, obviously I have to clean them up, but I cleaned them off before I did any kind of body work. But the truck still needs a little bit of body work, so today I'll finalize everything on it. I keep finding small little things here and there. So here's some bubbling that was here that I didn't pay attention to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out and grind this all out and put a little bit of body filler on there. And then same thing here in this little area in the back door. There's some, you know, the paint was lifting a little bit, and then so I pulled it all off and I could see there was some rusting under there. So I need to address that. I mean, that's on. I haven't touched the inside of the truck yet, right? So there's still stuff that needs to be done inside the truck, like the inside of the windows and things like that, like on this door. But as far as the outside, those are the two outside things that I need to address. And I also need to put a little bit of filler here and smooth everything out. So I'm gonna make sure that I, you know, have everything. I don't want any kind of imperfections in the Monstaliner. But for the most part, it's all done. And, you know, I need to wash it and get the area nice and clean. So to do so, I purchased some trisodium phosphate, and so this will help clean up all the dirt, loosen all the debris that's on the paint, destroy the mildew or the moss that's growing on it, and clean the surface up. So I'll probably do one run of this, you know, put half of it in hot water, and then you know, put it in the bucket and just hand wash the entire surface of the truck, and then rinse it off and repeat, do it again. And then I also have mech. So this I'm going to use to also prep the surface. I have to remove all grease from the surface of the truck. So this will dissolve the grease, or, you know, get rid of it. So I'm gonna have to. I mean, there's lots of grease on this truck. There's oil and all kinds of spots on it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a 37-year-old truck. So clean up all the surfaces, make sure everything, even your hand grease. So I have some of that. I'll use it today, and then I'll sand the truck down with 120 grit. Monstaliner recommends, like, I think 120 to 180 grit to prep the surface for proper adhesion. But I'm going to stick with the 120. I want a more coarse grit, so I have more bite to it. And then, you know, coat the whole thing with Monstaliner. But like I said, I'm not going to do that this weekend. I'm going to do it the following weekend, so I have 3 days to work on it. I'll be at the other location, indoors, taping it, getting everything perfectly taped up, all the lines done, and take off any pieces that I need to take off. You know, plug any holes. I bought a bunch of little earplugs from Home Depot. So I'm gonna plug any little holes in the truck and the body panels, with those, so I can just pull them out when I need to, and it'll be ready to go. So time to start washing, get this thing all cleaned up and prep that surface. All right, so I got a bucket of hot water, and I'm gonna pour about half of this in there. Should be good. Now I just need to start scrubbing this thing down. I've been going at it with this pretty coarse scrub brush, and as I was doing so, I noticed that some of the paint was lifting a little bit, and I scrubbed it off, you know, kept scrubbing and extending it, and so this paint is peeling up here. It chipped and it's peeling on top. This might be the original, because I do not think that he you know, got a new roof put on this truck, but in any case, the paint was coming off, and there's another little spot right here. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to peel off as much as I can, get it chipped out as far as I can, and extend it as far as it goes, and then sand it. You know, sand the edges and make sure everything's smooth. So it's not bad though. There's no rust, and there's definitely no rust bubbles or any kind of penetration. You know, here's a little bit of rust here, surface rust. This is where there was another chip. You know, so I just need to sand these down, but they're not penetrating, so that's good. So I'm going to continue washing off this and scrubbing all this grime, you know, out of here. It's caked in pretty good. So you need a coarse scrubber to get in there. One area that I need to make sure that I clean especially well is around the gas filler cap. You know, you have all the oils and residue and stuff like that from when you fill up on gas. It all leaks over here, especially if you have a diesel, then the car would probably be all covered with oil and soot along the back here. So this actually doesn't seem too bad. It's pretty nasty, pretty dirty, just because a lot of stuff accumulates in here, and it's kind of a recessed spot. So all the grime and stuff just sits in there. So even when it rains and stuff like that, your car can kind of get a little bit washed. It doesn't get in here. So I'm gonna scrub this extremely well, and then make sure that I also sand it extremely well prior to putting on the Monstaliner. So the truck's all washed off, at least all the heavy grime and everything. No oil, no heavy dirt, no moss growing out it anymore. So it's been completely washed off. And you can see it's kind of dull in spots and things like that. There's some overspray in certain areas, but that's all going to be addressed when I do my next sanding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to sand the truck with 120 to make it a good surface for the Monstaliner to adhere to. But I will not be doing that today. So I've been lucky enough that there's a good chance that I'll be able to use this garage here to, and pull the truck in there, and I'll have room to work on it. See, the issue that I have with the other location is that the clearance. I had to air my tires down to like 5 psi just to make clearance to get inside that garage. So it was a really tight spot, and it's really difficult to get any work done in there. That's a huge garage. So it's a huge, it's like a 2.5 car garage. So I have plenty of room around it, and there's like 12-foot ceilings in there. So that's what I'm gonna be working with. So I'm excited about that. So what I'm going to do now is I won't be sanding down anything. I won't be prepping it anymore. It's just washed because it's going to have to wait another week. All right. So the good news is the truck looks like it will be finished. At least the green coating of Monstaliner will be completed this weekend, and I have the ideal location to do it. There's no better environment that I could have for that. It has 2 garage doors on each, one door on each side of the space, so I could have that cross ventilation to get all the toxic fumes out of there. So I won't be breathing that. I have lighting all over the place, so that's another great thing. There's going to be lots of lighting, so I can catch any imperfections. Has high ceilings, lots of room around the vehicle. The only concern is I have to come in on Friday and actually, clear out the space so I can, fit the truck in there. But other than that, I'm extremely excited and happy that that's gonna happen. I was nervous about doing it in the other spot just because of the clearance issues and the lighting, poor lighting, and things like that. So this spot's much better for my purposes. So now it's just a matter of going back to the original location, and then I'll just take care of any of the little small rust imperfections on there, get it ready, and Friday come by here, clear out that garage to make room for the truck, wash the truck, tape the truck, or sand the truck down with the 120 grit, and then cover it all with mech, wipe it all down, and then tape the truck off, and then start rolling it. So I'll roll it either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. It's a long weekend, so that's plenty of time to get working on it. Monstaliner arrived. Here's the unboxing. All right, so I have 2 kits. I have the 2-gallon kit, and this is the Sans Panties color, which is very similar to the OEM Mercedes agave green or cactus green that they have. And the 1-gallon kit here is black. So the black is going to be all the trim pieces on the vehicle. So that's going to be the headlight surrounds, the grille, inside the wheel wells, the rub rails that I have going along, the G-wagons have, and what else? The aluminum gutters. So all those pieces will be done in black. I still have to contact Monstaliner and figure out exactly how to get it to best adhere to rubber or plastic. If it does, I have to find out, because the rub rails are rubber obviously, and so are the headlight surrounds on the early G-wagons like mine. So hopefully I have enough. 1 gallon should cover all of that. If I have to only do the wheel wells with 1 coating, I'll just do that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's inside the wheel wells. It's also going to be inside the fenders too. So when I put the fenders on, I'm going to do the whole inside of the underside of the fenders with black. This kit should be more than enough. 2 gallons to give 2 heavy coatings of Monstaliner on here. All right. Inside, and I ordered it. The kits. Hold on a second. Let me see. So the kits normally only come with, or a 2 gallon kit anyway, comes with 4 blue rolling texture rollers, 2 coarse brown scuff pads, 2 wooden paint mixes, 1 disposable rolling pan. No, wait, 2 disposable rolling pans. So those are both of those there. Roller frame. That's this. So I mean, it looks like everything's in there. 3 solvent resistant gloves, 1 drill bit, paddle, and installation guide. And then things that it doesn't come with: mech or acetone solvent, which I have. Garden hose, which I have at the other location, which I'm so grateful that I'm going to be able to roll the truck over there. So I have that. Power drills, have that. Clean rags, have that. Scrap cardboard, have plenty of that. Protective eyewear and a respirator. So another good thing about the other location. Oh, I just lost the roller. So here's what the rollers look like. So this is how you get the texture. And the reason I ordered multiple rollers and extras is because they tend to kind of flake off as you're using them, and you know, I don't want these getting pulled off and then run the risk of having things embedded in the liner itself. So I have extras that I can keep swapping out when they start getting a little bit chewed up, and then you know, I'll have a uniform texture too if I keep using fresh rollers. And I want to make sure that everything kind of looks even throughout the vehicle. And then inside you have the gallons. So I have 2 gallons in this one, and then you add, I'm assuming this is probably that's probably the coating, or the shade, the pigment, right? So it's 2 parts. You have to add that to the color catalyst to the actual material, and then it starts working, and you have a short time to actually get it all on the vehicle. I think it's like 6 to 10 hours, something like that, depending on humidity. Right now, humidity is I don't know, maybe 20% or something here. But so I'll get the car coated up, you know, gotta scuff it. So this, at least the colored part, is going to go on the vehicle by this coming weekend. Okay, you know, have it Friday, bring the vehicle there, you know, scuff it all up, get it all down with 120 grit, and then wash it, cover it with mech, tape it all off, and get it ready for rolling either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So that's it. That's what you get in the kit. So that is the same thing, except the black, I guess, is already mixed in with the, I don't know actually, if the dye's already mixed in there. I don't know. I haven't opened that one up yet. But this is what the 2 gallon kit contains. So very excited. So the truck will be coated next weekend. And that is all.